Hello. So I hope to end this video by saying that what the question is, what do women want from men, or what do men want from women? And I hope to end this video with the conclusion that you should just try to find out who you are as an individual and be that. So to be yourself, right? But of course, it's not that simple. And I want to go through like some experiences that I've had and why I think what I think, and so on and so on. Conventional wisdom or the internet wisdom would like us to believe, or has told us, that women basically want providers and protectors while men are interested in looks. And so I'm going to start by talking about how I came across these ideas and how it was, and stuff like that in the past. And I don't know who you are as an individual, as the viewer, so it's hard for me to address specifically, your situation, but okay. So when I was younger, on YouTube, I saw a video with this exact title, and that's also why I made the title what it is. Even I hope it's not clickbaity, but anyway, I saw a video with the title which said, "What do women really want from men?" It was a video from a YouTuber called Alex on Life, right? And in the video, he spoke about like hypergamy and MGTOW, and basically why women are all instinctively gold diggers. This was his message, that women are all instinctively gold diggers. It's in our instincts. We are hypergamous. We value men based on like wealth, social and economical status. But in today's world, social status is economical status, because that's how we have status. Status comes from money today. So basically, it all boils down to that women are gold diggers, and you can't trust them. They will never really love. And I guess that's why he's MGTOW and stuff. And I'm not saying anything bad about Alex on Life. So actually, my reaction to that video was like, I was totally stunned, because like I had never heard any of this before. I had never heard of the concept of hypergamy. I hadn't heard of MGTOW or anything at that point. This was the first video that I've ever seen on it. And in the video, he was, the things that he was saying and the way that he was saying it, like, to me as a woman, I could feel what he was saying, and I knew that it was true, right? And if I think about my life and my history and whatever, how I chose my husband or whatever, I do feel like it's all true, So I it sort of just made me introspect, and then I was like, oh my God, it's true that women are like, we have instincts to be gold diggers. We are gold diggers. We're all gold diggers. I'm a gold digger, right? So I felt really bad, cried about that, whatever. And then I thought, well, if this guy knows so much about women, I remember this is also a little bit in the past. This is when YouTube there wasn't as much information as there was today. But people were just exploring this, and I was like, if this guy knows so much about what women want, and he's a guy, then obviously he would know also what men want, right? So I asked him, what do men want? And so he replied to me, what do men want? And he said, men want young, fertile women who they can make happy, right? So it's sort of like, so I thought, well, if he knows the truth about women, he knows the truth about men, right? And it felt to me as if what he said about women was the truth. So I thought, okay, well, that must be the truth about men. They want young, fertile women who they can make happy. And it's sort of like how he framed the answer, it sort of like framed it around the idea of looks, right? So I sort of like put that in my head, and I was like, okay, so, it makes sense. Men are into looks, women are into money. Feminists complain a lot about objectification, and therefore men complain about hypergamy, gold diggers. So men complain about gold diggers in women, and women complain about the fact that men focus too much on looks. They objectify women, right? Because of course both of these things are unfair to the individual in a sense, right? So I felt bad, but I sort of accepted it to be like that in my head. And then I thought about, and then that caused me to reflect on myself, because of course I'm asking the question because I'm in a relationship with a man and I would like to know what he wants. So, like, how could I be whatever he wants, right? So the question is, how do you become what the opposite gender wants in order to be appealing in your relationship so that it will last, and so on and so on. So I thought, okay, so men are interested in looks. But then I started to think about myself, right? And I, as an individual, I'm probably everything that feminists complain that they want to be in terms of looks and things like that. In terms of, I can say, I have never, I don't shave. I don't shave my underarms. I don't shave my legs. I've never shaved. I they complain about wearing bras. I don't wear bra. I've never worn bras. I just, when I was younger, I thought these things look and feel uncomfortable when I tried it maybe once or twice, and after that I never wore a bra and I never had a problem with it. So I don't shave, didn't wear bras. I wore makeup once in my entire life. Has makeup ever touched my face? And that was for a play when I was 10 years old, a school play. They put on makeup on all the children to go out onto the stage, and they put on makeup on me. That was the only time I've ever worn makeup. I don't use like a lot of chemicals or anything. I don't use chemicals. I never use chemicals on my hair or skin or whatever because, well, I think it stems from the fact that, different people have like OCD or like traits, instincts, or whatever. And I think that I have something like a type of trait or autism or whatever. I don't know how to describe it, but there's something in me that I don't really like weird things touching my skin. And also, so feminists complain, they burn their bras, they think women wear too much makeup to impress men, the fact that they have to shave. I've never done all of this before I ever met or encountered feminism. I just never did any of these things. I never placed a lot of emphasis on my looks in that exact way, right? And then even when you come to things like free bleeding, I don't agree with free bleeding, but I have, again, it's the same thing with chemicals touching your skin. I can't understand tampons or chemical pads touching your skin. I always, when I was young without a choice and I had to use pads, I did. But I used, at home, I would use socks as soon as I'm at home, and I could, and then when I got old enough, I bought the correct thing, which would be cloth pads and so on. And I've always used that because for me, I don't know, it's just a kind of ick in my brain. I like things that feel natural, Um, and I admit that that's weird and not everyone should do that. And I don't think everyone should do that. I think individuals just do what they do as they go, right? So I so my point is that, so for somebody like me hearing that I need to focus on my looks in order to please the man in my life or whatever, um it could be like a little bit scary. It puts pressure on you and you sort of have the feeling that you would not be desirable because you don't focus on this stuff, right? So I had that feeling for a while after hearing about the fact that men like looks. And then much later in life, much later, I realized that actually I do focus on looks. I don't focus on looks in the very traditional way in which people focus on looks, but I do focus on looks. I do like fashion. I look into to stuff like that, like the way you dress and stuff like this. And I have a lot of girly, like my hobby is sewing. It's also because my mother was a seamstress. But the point is, however it is, I focus on looks just in my own way. And I can't explain why I focus on looks. These things are just a part of my instincts. Like, I can't explain why I like fashion. I can't explain why I like to look at certain things or to dress a certain way or whatever. It's just a part of my instincts. And I think, right? I don't have all the answers there. But the point is that, yeah, so I think that often when we hear about what the opposite gender wants, we tend to think, and we might feel bad about ourselves because we don't display or have those qualities in the traditional sense. But I think that's wrong. And I think that in the case of men, this will cause them to put a lot of emphasis on providing and protecting, because right now we have a society that says that men, what women want is providers and protectors. And in the case of women, it makes them place a lot of emphasis on how they look. And I think both of these things are quite unhealthy, first of all, to feel that way and to tie yourself with to looks, or to tie yourself with to money, is really unhealthy. And I think it's unnecessary. So basically, you don't need to know what women want or what men want, because I'm pretty sure that even if you don't recognize it, and even if you can't see it in yourself at all, you have instincts. You have instincts that cause you to display the traits that men and women want. Um, it's just in your instincts. So you're going to have to trust nature, and trust nature that everything is in sync, and that everything is okay, and that your instincts will take you to a place where you display the traits that men want, and where you display the traits that women want if you are a man. And I know as a male, you're probably thinking, oh, it's not that easy for men, because in evolutionary terms, not all men were able to reproduce. And so maybe not all men have the traits that women want. I don't think that's true. I think if you are someone who is concerned about that, you have the traits. And um, if not all men reproduced in evolutionary terms, then without reproducing, you will be okay, and you will live a completely fulfilled life. Okay. And I do think that if you're looking for a mate, you will find someone. But okay, the other thing that you're going to have to notice and realize and accept is that while we have this weird conventional wisdom of the internet nowadays that says that women want providers and protectors, and men like young, fertile women who look good. This is not the whole of humans. This is instinct. And this is a very important and nuanced thing to understand. Yes, women want providers and uh, protectors or whatever, right? But these are just instincts. In the same way, men have instincts towards women who look good and who are young, those are just instincts. Humans are also complicated beings with a brain, with thoughts, and we have competing instincts, and we have thoughts and a brain, and so on and so on. So we we have all these things going on in our minds, and the truth is that instincts are not everything. Just because I have instincts towards a male who may have certain traits, it doesn't mean that my brain can't tell me that this other one is better, or that I don't have competing instincts that tell me that this is a better choice, and so on and so on. And it's the same, I think, for men in terms of, yes, they may be most attracted to a woman who looks young, fertile, and da da da. But he also has a brain. He also lives, within society, within the rules of society. And it doesn't mean that he's just going to hop from hottest girl to hottest girl, just as hypergamy does not mean that women are going to hop from rich man to richer man or whatever. It doesn't mean we don't have a heart. It doesn't mean we're not human. It doesn't mean we don't have complex thoughts. It doesn't mean that we are relying solely on instincts. But okay, it may be true. It is true, I believe, that we have instincts that tell us to choose the man who can take care of us best and who can protect us and so on. But it doesn't mean that you need to become that, because you don't live in a world where women are simply relying on instincts. You live in a much more complex world with complex women who have complex thoughts and who have complex instincts as well, and who may want something different from what her instincts tell her to want. And you don't even know what the instincts of all women are. These things exist on a spectrum and they're varied. So one woman might have very strong gold digger instincts, whereas another woman might have much less or none. So everybody is also an individual. These things exist on a spectrum. Yes, we have instincts, but don't kill yourself to become something for someone who you don't even want. So the first part of the answer of what women or men want is whatever is in your instincts is enough and you don't need to know. And the second part of the answer that I want to give is that you also have to consider what you want and who you want and how to attract the person that you want. And I think that that means that you need to be yourself, because we exist on a spectrum, as I said, and people are complicated and complex and stuff. And you aren't just looking for women or men. You're looking for a specific woman or man, or you're trying, if you're in a relationship already, you're trying to please a specific woman or man. And that particular person is an individual who is complex, and you want to attract someone that you like. If you don't have certain traits naturally, you don't need to pretend to have those traits. You will attract someone who accepts you as you are. You have to think about what you want in a relationship. And the truth is that most likely the reason you want to be in a relationship is because you want some sort of intimacy with the person. This is what we tend to look for in relationships. You want truth, you want intimacy, you want someone to be yourself with and to share your thoughts with, and so on. In order to achieve that, you have to be your authentic self, because you're looking for someone who would accept you as your authentic self. You're looking for like someone who fits to you. And if you change yourself and pretend to be somebody different to attract somebody, then you will attract somebody who is looking for that, what you have changed yourself to be, and not who you are. So it is better to be yourself from the beginning. Allow the people who do not want whoever you are to reject you, and find the person who wants whoever you genuinely are. So if you are not interested in a gold digger, then it doesn't make sense to pretend to have money or to even try to get money in order to get a woman. If you are not interested in someone like that, then you need to be whoever you are, so that the person who would be interested in you will find you. So because at the end of the day, you want to be able to be yourself in a relationship, or it is not worth it. If you don't have that type of intimacy, the relationship is not worth it. So you have to be yourself from the beginning. You have to be honest. And also, I want to say that what prompted this video, the reason why I decided to make this video today and now, is because I saw a post, I may put it up on the screen also, from Matt Walsh, who is quite famous and a conservative sort of, he has, he's on Facebook and stuff. I think you know him. And it said basically that men can't cry in front of women because that makes them seem weak. And I know that this stuff is of course a part of female instincts and stuff like this, but I was really upset that someone would take that to mean that men can't cry in front of women, their wives even. He went so far as to say that they shouldn't cry in front of their wives, because it made me think about something like in my own relationship, when quite early when I met my husband. One of our first conversations, maybe like the third conversation, was him crying, literally crying. He was crying. And he told me that he was crying, and this was via Messenger. And like, to me, this was like huge green flag, as in like, I was so happy that somebody was being themselves, authentic with me, and wasn't trying to pretend to be something else. And that, if I think about it, is the thing that I think I love about my husband the most, that he has always been just himself. And I think I would be so sad if my husband didn't feel comfortable to cry in front of me. That would be like, I would be sad. So I think that this is so not true, and I think it's really dangerous, all these messages like on how to be a man. You don't need to know how to be a man. How to be a man is in your instincts. You need to be yourself and trust your instincts. And then more than that, you are not just a man, you are an individual. And as an individual, you need to just be yourself and trust that as yourself, you will find the person who accepts you as you, and that relationship will be worth it. No other relationship will be worth it. It's not worth it to get into a relationship with someone while being someone else, because then you don't have anything authentic. You don't have anything worth keeping. You don't have something, valuable. What is valuable is a relationship where you can be yourself, and where you are accepted as yourself, and where you can cry when you want to cry or whatever. So, yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope that it made sense. What women want from men, or what a woman wants from a man or from you, is for you to be yourself, and don't listen to people on the internet telling you who you should be. Don't even listen to me. Just be yourself. If Yeah. And if that doesn't work for you, then I already warned you not to listen to me. So yeah. So also, if I don't make any videos for the next 3 months, I will make videos again in September. I think I will put out a few videos in the summer, but I just saying, my husband is not working for the next 3 months. He is working. We are working together on something, but he's off, like, from office work, so he'll be home. And so I probably won't be bored or alone for the next 3 months. So which is really good. So if I'm not making videos, it's because I'm happy and not bored. And I will maybe I will put out a few videos because I have some footage from some interviews, or so I will see. But other than that, if I don't put out videos, then I will be back in September. So please subscribe, and I look forward to making more videos in September. And thank you for everybody who comments and likes and subscribes and supports this channel. Um, yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm happy that y'all allowed me to rant and listened and commented. I appreciate every comment. Okay. Okay, so have a good day and learn to be yourself. Figure out what you're, and don't worry about it. Just don't worry. You have instincts. Even though it may look like you don't have instincts in the right direction, I swear to God, you have them. I promise you that. You have instincts. Your instincts take care of it. You don't need to know what women or men want. Okay? Okay, bye.